Well, good evening, team. We are firing up the podcast machine.
Yes.
Yet again, we are firing up the podcast machine. And just on the precipice of hell on earth, also Snowmageddon in the Midwest. And tonight's guest, boy howdy, am I so happy to see this man.
Yeah.
Let me set the stage. It's 2007, 2008. It's a local show in Mansfield, Ohio, at a place called CD Jungle. I look upon the stage while one of the opening bands is performing, and one of the wonderful things about metal shows, especially at this time, the intermission music was never heavy music.
Yeah.
And
yes,
what was playing over the speakers was Mambo Number 5 by Lou Bega.
It's amazing.
And I witnessed a young man named Tom Hirst vibing. And that was my first impression of our tonight's guest.
That song.
Yes.
So that's hilarious. Like, I don't remember this at all, but that checks out perfectly. I love that song. I remember when that song came out, and I think I was in sixth grade when that song came out.
Yes, dude.
Dude, I love that song. So that checks out perfectly.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
like well, I remember the most innocuous details, but never remember the big things. And that's why I have a podcast.
That's sick,
like this.
Yeah. Right. No, that's so sick though, because it's what is it? Great like writing or storytelling is always like when you put like innocuous details into things that like seem super like esoteric and like deep, but it's just like, oh, that was just the color of some person's sweater that was in the room that like I for some reason remember. But no, dude, that's so sick.
Well, I appreciate that interpretation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I considered it just my crippling ADHD. But many such cases. But tonight, Tom Hirst from The Gun Show, Creations, fucking Dive Bomb, Now When, and podcasting, and so many other things that we're going to dive into. Tom,
make it sound like I'm doing things. Like,
you're doing so much stuff, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you, by the way? Just before we get into it, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Yeah, life is awesome. Yeah, life is awesome.
You're married as hell.
Yes, very married. Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
God. And I saw you got doggies and like.
Yeah, right. You got to meet the dogs. Yeah. Benny and Nora.
Oh my God. And so the cool thing about this is the times I have seen Tom is, like I said, the first time I ever even saw this young man was when he was vibing to Mambo Number 5 at the wee age of 17. Then go so many years not seeing you.
Yeah.
Randomly seeing you at a show in downtown's Mansfield like a couple years ago.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, because you're
at that newsroom.
Yep. Yeah, right in where I do the podcast at. Actually, I do it right upstairs there. Yeah, it's their podcast. So I do it's technically not my podcast. It was started by somebody who used to work at the Richland Source, which is the online news publication, and they started the podcast years ago, and then they left and moved away. And it just sat. And so I was talking to Zach, the dude who runs like all the shows, who does all the shows there.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about it. And he was like, if you wanted to host this, we'd be down. I was like, I don't know. And then finally one day I just did it. So yeah, it's technically not my podcast. I just host it for the Richland Source for funsies.
It's so, and that's just so random. Like, just like,
right.
And then every time I see you, like, same Tom, just like universal constant.
I appreciate that.
The sweetest shy boy, but like always, but like when you actually listen to what you say, and especially when you listen to the stuff you create, one of the things I really respected about you is you're a quiet guy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But when you express yourself, you have so much to say.
Oh man, thank you, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I appreciate that a lot, man. Yeah. It's you know, you never see yourself in those types of lights. So that's I appreciate that a lot, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then playing some shows when I was in a death metal band and you were playing bass and Dive Bomb.
The sickest death metal band. Still to this day blows my mind that actually existed. It's so sick. And I'm sad that it's not a thing. Yeah.
Things come and go, and I just get too old and fat to do death metal anymore.
The name's just so perfect. Like, it's such a good name. I'm very envious of the creation of that name. It's perfect for the style of music that you were making. I loved it, man.
So how does one hang a fortress?
I don't know, but it's sick. It sounds sick. It's just it's like a medieval house moving castle, like Studio Ghibli. Like
I always imagine like the upside down castle in Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh yeah. That's dope. Did you put that on is that the castle on the one? Because I know you made you guys had a shirt with a castle on it, I believe, right? I think I saw.
Actually, no, my brother painted that for the album cover.
Oh really? Oh, that's sick. That's even cooler.
But here's what's funny is when he was asking for inspo, that was definitely cited.
Okay, that's awesome. Which is awesome
because that was our favorite game growing up. So the second I was like, I'm like, just Castlevania, castle in the sky, giant death lord chains, you know the deal.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes.
Yes, exactly. Hands down, dude. That's so sick. Yeah, I think you still should at least make a t-shirt of the Castlevania castle upside down hanging. Be pretty dope. Just saying. My 2 cents.
Listen, I have zero qualms with ripping any Castlevania merch.
Yeah, right, dude.
Good God.
Yeah, that would be so sick.
All right, so like I was telling you before we recorded, sort of the gumption of this show. Before we get into the questions, it's lore dump time. And like I was also telling you before, like I've known you for so long, like long 2007 is almost 20 years now.
Wow.
Good God.
Yeah.
Painful, but also really cool.
That happened.
But I only ever know Tom in creative spaces and like chill hang spaces.
Yeah.
Like I've never gotten the actual lore. So tonight I'm really this is almost a treat for me.
Lore. All right.
Yeah. So kind of give us how you got into just music overall, but then how you got into being into this insane niche explosion of specifically Christian metalcore.
Yeah, right. Seriously. So grew up, my dad was a musician, started playing drums when he was 19. So grew up always music in some fashion in the house. My dad and my uncle even opened their own recording studio together, and it was in the basement of my house that I grew up in at one point in time. Yeah, so super sick, like always something going on musically. But I didn't really get into doing anything, learning to play anything or anything like that until after I was later on in years. For whatever reason, I just never picked it up. But so we lived in Austintown, Ohio. And then my mom had cousins that were from Mansfield. We would always go and visit.
Okay.
And so when I was 15, we moved to Mansfield, and my cousins were involved with a church, heavily involved with a church in downtown Mansfield at the time called City Church. And yeah. And so they had a pretty extensive youth, and my cousin and his best friend, Andrew, they they were helping put shows on in the basement, right? And then my cousins, his parents, they were getting involved, and it was becoming like a pretty big deal for their whole family. And so like we would go up and we would help them with shows at times and stuff. And so yeah, for lots of reasons, we ended up moving to Mansfield. My parents grew up in a isn't pretty charismatic Christian household overall. Very, very much like we really tried to, follow what God wanted for our lives and what would glorify Him. And so like we moved to Mansfield in part to help with these shows, but also my dad wanted to start working more with youth with recording for evangelizing purposes, but also just because that's where my parents were at. They, I
Right.
grew up always. Actually, my wife and I were just talking about this today about how like both of our families, we grew up like always heavily involved in whatever church we were at. Like heavily, heavily involved, and so it was like the natural progression of like, oh, there's these shows going on, and let's start doing stuff with it. And so yeah, we ended up in Mansfield, and we were helped put on these shows, and met a lot of cool people. But I they had this they called it Hell House or whatever, like like the
Oh
Heaven Gates,
yeah.
Hell's Flames type stuff, but like it's like the haunted
Classic.
house thing, right? And you walk through, you're going through a haunted house, but it's like kids dying and going to hell, and like that awesome, fun propagandistic, but like just fire and brimstone, old school, like, but
And just
a
youth
haunted
group.
house, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it, they made one, right, and it was like super massively and like very, very well done for like a local smaller production thing. Like they put a ton of effort into it. It was pretty fun. Um,
Damn.
yeah, right. And as one did in the basement, I filled in as a demon in hell at one point in time, right? And so to try scaring people, I was screaming at them, right? And one of the other kids in the youth, my friend, uh, uh, old friend Seth, he was like, "Hey, you're really good at screaming. You should join my band." And so right? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, because I was going to the shows and stuff. And then so I was like, I was gonna join this band, and yeah, hi guys. Yeah, hi. That's Benny. Hi, Benny. Benny, say hi to Ian. He's over here. No. Anyway. Um and so yeah, and then like
Joining the band.
joining the band. So that's I was supposed to join this band, and then like just crazy stuff like something else happened where like we were at a show then later before I joined this band, and the vocalist of another band called me up on stage to do one of the songs with them, and I'd never done that before. And his story was that he felt that God was leading him to do that, like telling him to do that.
Mm.
uh and so like I get up on stage and I scream one of their songs with them, and like and then I was just like, yeah, that was awesome. I need to join this band, type of feeling like, yeah, that was really a lot of fun. I love doing that. And it just
There's my confirmation.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Like, okay, cool, let's do this. And so yeah, the first so I joined Burn the Memories was the first band I joined as a vocalist.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was backup vocals and playing keyboards or synth, but I didn't know how to play synth. So they taped down which keys I was supposed to hold while I screamed into a mic. And I was JD, effectively my first,
You were JD before JD. That's crazy
before
word.
JD was JD. Yeah. Like I was, virtuoso playing, singing, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then kind of went off like just started became like I'll join whatever band whenever there was bands I could, and I was in a band called Glory B, we were playing a bunch of shows, and that's how I met the Gun Show, which was already a band. They had been a band for a minute, and they liked Eric and John liked my vocals, and so they asked me to join as their second vocalist. Um,
I totally forgot about the two vocalist era.
yeah,
That just
had a
unblocked something back
right,
here. Ah!
right, dude. There's actually a YouTube video out there. I think still of us playing at CD Jungle when we had two vocalists still, and and I'll have to find that and send that to you after this because it's
Yes,
hilarious.
please. Yes,
It's
please.
hilarious. I have a hole in the crotch of my jeans as well, and that's funny and embarrassing. And Eric is wearing a turtleneck and has long blonde hair. John's hair is like super long. It's amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah. I think it was probably it had to have been like 2006, 2007 around then, I think. Yeah. But yeah, and then so joined the Gun Show, and that's after that, that was like it for me as far as that's like all I wanted to do in high school was play shows and tour. And so I quit everything else I was doing and just tried to play shows and till yeah, until we what we started touring off and on. Like we do like little weekend runs when I was like in high school when I was a senior.
Yeah.
And which is crazy. Like I'm 35 years old. I don't have kids yet, but like the fact that my parents let me get into a van with the rest of the band on Friday, play a show and Friday night, go like one of the times played a show in Ohio Friday night, played another show in Indiana Saturday night, and then played a show in Illinois somewhere Sunday night, and then drove home that entire night so that I could go to high school, like that next
It was a
day.
different era, dude.
Dude, it's like I don't understand like how that happened or why my parents thought that that was cool, but like I'm very thankful they did because it was awesome. Um so yeah, we did that a bunch, and then I graduated high school in 2009, and that summer I had my graduation party, and then a week later we left for our first full month tour, which was supposed to be with Settle the Sky, uh, and then you guys dropped.
And that was it was that Run the Gun too, right?
Yep, yep, yep. And we were going. It was our West Coast tour, and both of you guys dropped, and so we went out to the West Coast, and
Our bad.
you guys
Sorry,
weren't
dude.
there, right? And you guys weren't there. We were supposed to
Yeah,
tour with you for a
I
month,
know.
a whole month.
Well, listen, man. Shout out to episode 4
Mhm.
guest John Copeland, who was on that tour that we left. We dumped that tour for.
That's awesome.
So it was canon. It turned out
Yeah,
to
it's
work
perfect,
out.
dude. That's so sick. That's that's hilarious. You already had somebody on here to wrap that one up. That's amazing.
Yeah. But
Dude,
so touring around
yeah,
and doing the
yeah. So
grind.
yeah, we started touring, and then we came back at that summer, and Eric and Bryant, our drummer and guitarist, had a semester left of college, and so they were going to college out in Marion, Indiana, at Indiana Wesleyan, and so I moved out there with them for like 3 4 months, and then that finished. And in January, the new year, we left for tour, and that year we we were on the road for like 200 days out of the year or something like that. Something over
Yeah.
200 days. Yeah. Uh that was crazy. Like that was so crazy. Um so crazy. I yeah, and then like we toured a bit after that in 2011 and stuff, and then I think it was like we put out that's right, we put out Discontentment sometime our first full length in 2011. And
Yeah.
then we toured for a bit, had some member issues, and then in the summer, Eric had got married and decided he was gonna quit. Yep. And I was so me and Corey, the other guitarist, we had talked about we were gonna continue initially, and then I got asked by Gideon to fill in on vocals for them, and they were
Which you go, yes.
yeah, which I was like, yeah, heck yeah. I mean, they didn't blow up, they weren't huge yet. It was
Right.
still super sick, though. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah. What was it? Dan broke his foot at Cornerstone, I think, something like that, and so they asked me to fill in, and that was awesome. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We're not touring right now, so. And on that tour, Corey was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this without Eric and continue. I'm going to go to college." So, which, yeah. And then the gun show ended, and that sucked. That sucked really bad for a long time for me mentally. Um, 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
like,
like all I wanted.
especially after you spent so much time
Yeah.
with them and doing those songs, and
Right.
for 90% of a year,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
that's so much energy, and then all of it to be like, okay, oh no, it's done.
Yep. Yep. Now it's done. Right when it felt like everything was starting to pay off, we were starting to get some more traction, like we're actually getting like guarantees that were substantial back then for us, like it was going to be a really, really good tour that we were going to get ready to go on that they were setting up. And yeah, and it was like, nope, this isn't happening anymore. And this is, so that like, yeah, that sucked really bad for a long time. That really bad for a long time. And like it's frustrating too because like now looking back on it, it's like, well, I mean, it makes perfect sense. All of it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like, Eric got married, and like Eric was the driving force to the gun show. He's brilliant. Everything that he did was like very well calculated and really, I mean, he took a band that called the Gun Show and like
All one word.
all one word, and got like people to actually care about it.
Yeah.
Uh, all of that was as far as like business wise and like the decisions and the booking and the touring and like all that. He did all that stuff. And like he booked everything. He set all of
Yeah.
it
I
up.
remember Eric being all business.
Yeah, he's the man. And like, he got married and he realized like if I'm going to put this much work into something, it needs to be more it needs to make more sense financially for the future of my family. And like,
Right.
and it's like, yeah, I completely makes sense, but like, you know
No, but when you're
21
21, you're like,
21-year-old
hey.
Tom was like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything serious with my life except for this. This is all I want to do." But I was spoiled and lazy and didn't understand what it actually looked like to make that work, to actually really, really make that work. I was a very, very bratish kid, like back then. And like, I did not understand at all. And then like, I joined creations after that and like, there wasn't an Eric. And so like the reality of that hit me hard really fast
Oh,
uh,
damn.
with like, yeah. Cause like, like Johnny was in Australia and orchestrating a lot of stuff through Australia, but that the first like year of me joining creations, Johnny wasn't really able to get back into the States because of visa issues. Not the first full year. It was maybe it was at least the first couple tours. Maybe that's what it was. Um, yeah, so he was having visa issues. So I was doing a lot of the tour managing aspects of like taking care of that type of stuff. And yeah, just it was really eye opening um, how much I didn't grow up and how much really I really just wasn't, equipped to actually deal with those types of responsibilities and what it took to actually make it work and to do it properly and to do it right, Like,
Right.
Yeah, I was I was a spoiled brat, man. Like, not necessarily
Well,
even from my parents or anything like that, but just like just a very selfish person,
youth.
you know? Yeah, very
There's
selfish
youth.
youth. Yeah.
But just sorry to interrupt, but
No, 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 please. I don't know where I'm
uh
going now, so
the more no the more episodes that I do and the more people I talk to, I one of like the themes that are almost consistent is how quick shit happened.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so and
yeah, for
then
real.
so when this while we've been delving into these things in hindsight,
Mhm.
uh one of the things that I like a pattern that it's been recognized is youth
Yeah,
plus this insane touring regimen,
yeah,
which you'd go to bed in Idaho and then you'd
yeah,
wake up in Seattle
yeah, yeah,
and
literally. Yeah, right, right.
and
It's nuts.
what we didn't consider is what happens cognitively. You
Yeah,
know what really happens to your brain in that development, and so you almost get like the when you said like feeling like a spoiled brat is
mhm.
because you are living this world of absolute delusion
Yeah,
90% of the year
yeah,
and
right?
and also a child.
Yeah, right?
So we're hopefully we're able to give ourselves a little bit more grace now, but
For sure.
when you know it's hard to see the forest through the trees back then because you're just
Yeah.
like, no, it's supposed to be like this and it's not doing the thing now.
Uh-huh. Right, right.
What?
What is this? What is going on? Why am I not waking up in some random person's house that decided that they were going to kindly let us sleep in on their floor while we're passing through this random city in Wisconsin, like uh yeah, man, it's seriously happening fast. It was a whirlwind. Like I I remember I remember before we started touring a lot, right? When I was in high school, just being very excited to go on tour because I felt like it was going to be something that was just going to change me. And like, like now understanding like change happens, but like whether it's good change or bad change depends on the work you put in, right? Like what kind of like
Exactly.
what you actually do. And there's like an actual process that you can work on like mentally, physically inside of yourself of like piecing out things and like filing, like sifting through a filing cabinet or something, or like
Oh yeah.
organizing something. Like you can actually do that, and like that type of work produces something good in people, like but me, like high school me was just like, oh, I'm gonna go on tour and life's going to happen and I'm just gonna change and it's gonna be awesome, and like thinking that that was gonna be
All
like
the work's gonna be done for me.
yeah, right, exactly. And so that's what I mean by like spoiled brat, like just thinking that like things like I was going to go on these awesome experiences and life was going to happen and it was just going to do something good in me. And I wasn't going to have to do any work. I didn't even really like I didn't comprehend even like the concept of working towards something like of bettering yourself, like your characteristics, like
Right.
like actually sifting through that. I didn't even understand the concept of that that's workable, um so yeah, it's just like, and then it like you said, it just all happens so fast. Like there's just there's so much of that time that I don't even remember, and I was like sober Christian metalcore kid, you know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
like I
Which is
wasn't,
insane.
and I did, but it's all such a blur. Like it's just this insane blur of like literally waking up in a different city every day,
Mhm.
which is so cool. So thankful I did it, but it was just wild time, man. It's a wild time. I don't know. Yeah, it was just a wild time.
Yeah, like so um one of the things that kind of popped in my head when you were kind of recalling those times is kind of tying it back into the Christian aspect of
Yeah,
this time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I also think a part of what made this sort of like perfect storm cognitively, um, was also being instilled with this belief, maybe by your own volition or by the people around you or the churches you're associated with or your
Hmm.
community, where they just go, no, God's got a purpose with this.
Yeah.
God's going to
Yeah.
push you to this. And you are, like, essentially saying you are the chosen one.
Yeah.
And so that almost, so the theory I have, it almost kind of almost gives you this predisposition to be like, no, he's got it.
Yeah.
I just gotta be the talent, baby.
Yeah. Right. 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 No. Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I've never actually thought about it to that extent in that way, but it really is a lot like that. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, like, God is who he says he is. So like, he's just going to change me, and it's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. And like,
This cheat code.
yeah, I don't have to do anything. Like he's God, like
Right.
what is this? What I have to move something? Nah.
Right.
No, 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 no. No.
So now you're in creations.
Yeah.
You're I'm getting this kind of sense when you're talking about your time in creations that like you're kind of like really having to sit in the reality of
Yeah.
doing music then.
Yeah. Yeah. I I mean, I'm very thankful for everything that I got to do in every band that I've toured with, all of the stages that I've played, all the people I've played in front of, and people who have actually enjoyed something that I wrote in my bedroom half the time. But Creations was something that I look back on, and in hindsight, I think was a mistake that I joined.
Really?
Yeah. Uh, Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Life is life, and God, I believe, God allows us to make choices to work things out that He wants to accomplish, whether it's a good choice or a bad choice, right? And so, like,
Right.
I think joining Creations ultimately was a good thing because it allowed me to make a lot of mistakes that I had to learn from the hard way.
Yeah.
Which sucked. But I
Not very cash money.
no, no, not at all. So like Creations, I love that band. I love those guys, and I had so much fun. But I don't think it was where I was at mentally. It wasn't a good choice. And I think the reason why is because I think I was using it to escape actually dealing with my problems and the reality of,
Oh,
of my
okay.
life. You know what I mean? Um, because I was in a very just a really bad place mentally in that time. And like just I felt like it's one of those things where it was like I was angry, right? Because the gun show had ended, and that was like all I wanted to do, right? And so
Yeah.
like um I didn't know how to deal with that. And so the gun show ended, and I John, the bass player for the gun show, he he was like, "Hey, our friend Andrew, same Andrew who was running shows back in the day, of course.
Hmm.
He lived out in LA, and he was like, "Hey, you got nothing to do right now. Come move in with me, crash on the couch, move to LA and find a place and like hang out." And John was like, "You want to move to LA?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I've got
Right.
nothing else to do right now, right?" Was working at Chipotle and just chilling. And so I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Let's move to West Hollywood, see what happens." Uh, and so that's what we did. We packed up and got in. We saved up a bunch of money for like 3 months, and then got in John's. It was like a Trailblazer or something like that, and just drove to LA from Mansfield, Ohio, and we did it in 6-hour shifts. So he would sleep for 6 hours and I would drive, and then I would sleep for 6 hours and he would drive. And we just went back and forth that whole time and drove. That's like the one crazy thing about touring is like the skill that you get of like driving long distances for
Dude, I was
like
just having this conversation with my girlfriend not too long ago
yeah,
where because she was talking about how she hates driving, and I'm
yeah.
like, honestly, driving is the most therapeutic thing.
Mm.
I get into like almost like a zen like
Right.
flow state because I was always third shift guy.
Okay.
I was always night drive guy.
Yeah.
And so you kind of had to, I mean, in the old touring rule book, when you're doing a midnight drive, your co-pilot is supposed to kind of like
Yes.
be there to help you stay awake.
Exactly.
They
No.
never do.
No.
They always pass out.
I was the worst about that too. I was, oh man.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
get
hitting that sleep apnea.
dude, it's like I'm getting rocked by some like in a cradle or something when I get into a car half the time.
Yeah,
In
because you're
those situations,
programmed. You're
I
like,
just
oh
sit.
yes.
Dude, I don't know if it was like this for you, but I got to a point sometimes where like we would come back from tour and I wouldn't be able to go to sleep because I would be just so used to being like in a van, just
So you
sleeping
would
in a
go to
van.
your parked van out back
Yeah, right.
and go camp out.
Go
We used to
camp out.
okay, that's so funny. We used to do camp outs
Did you?
because we
That's
would be like
awesome.
we would be home for like a month,
Yeah,
because
it's the
back
worst.
then it
It's
was
so
almost like you
long.
were only home for like 2 weeks at a time,
Uh-huh.
at
Uh-huh.
most. And
Yeah.
so when you're home for an extended period, you almost be like, oh, I'm so burnt out on you guys. Fuck you guys. Blah, blah, blah. And then within a couple weeks, you're like, guys, I just miss hanging out with you,
Yeah,
just
right.
like
Uh-huh.
being in
Right.
the van. And then we would have campouts. We would
That's
literally go to,
awesome.
we'd park at Ryan Meyer's parents' house and they would have a little bonfire over there.
That's so
And we
sick.
would sleep in the van for the love of the game of sleeping uncomfortably.
Right? Dude, it's just something special about like a 15 passenger uh seat, like a bench seat, like there's something special about it. I don't know. You get
Because
a
you,
it's like what Stockholm syndrome, right? Yeah.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But hey, sometimes you got that perfect like bedroll equilibrium, and you're like in this perfect comfortable
Uh-huh.
burrito.
Uh-huh.
Like
Dude.
especially if you had like the middle seat of the 15
Mm,
passengers,
yeah. Yep.
or that
Uh-huh.
back row, that very last
The
seat.
back. Uh-huh. Dude.
Come
Oh
on.
my gosh. It's beautiful. You just tuck your pillow, and I would tuck my pillow up against the window on that side
Yep.
and wrap up in the blanket and just like sit up there and like watch something on a laptop and like
And then
fall
just
asleep with the
casually being
stars.
rocked like a
Uh-huh.
baby,
Yep.
with like with the white noise hum of the road,
Yep.
and
Uh,
your your bandmates fucking snoring.
whatever music's playing in the front from whoever's driving or whatever they're listening to, not super loud because it's night,
No, we're
but loud
being
enough
nice.
that yeah, if
Yeah.
everybody's being cordial.
Someone hey, whoever runs doing AI slop right now, let's get a
Yeah.
fake ASMR
Uh,
you're on tour video
uh-huh,
on
uh-huh.
YouTube,
Oh,
8 hours.
dude, I bet that would actually pop off. That's a great idea.
All right, I
That
gotta
would
write
do
that shit
very
down real
well.
quick.
Yeah, right.
So you're driving out to LA, you make it to
Yeah, yeah,
LA.
yeah. That's right. Yes. Uh, LA. Yeah, so we're moved out to LA, and yeah, we're just working at Chipotle, and it's me and John and this other guy that we were friends with in this like tiny one bedroom studio thing that it was more of like a glorified shed with like it was a nice like little apartment, but like as far as the space goes, it was probably like 600 square feet, if that, like
Oh yeah.
500, 600 square feet, like just crammed in for like 900 and something a month. This was what, 2011,
Which
so
for LA prices, pretty
it was
cheap.
pretty good. Yeah, it was great.
Pretty good.
It was great. And so like, yeah, we just hang out. It was cool. I hated it at first because I'm not a city guy, but like it's still like very fond memories now looking back on it, but, like, yeah, man, I was just in a very bad spot. I started drinking really heavily once I turned 21, um, and so I was just very angry. Um, yeah, a lot of stuff from my childhood that I've never really, like, thought about a lot that I started thinking about, and, at that age, kinda,
And
like,
then you're getting more angry.
yeah, then you're getting more angry and, like, yeah, I was just kinda just not in a good spot for a while there. And then, like, you know, Foss, the vocalist of Creations, Michael Foss, he was leaving and they asked me to join. And like I said, it was definitely escape because, like, I didn't want to deal with stuff. I didn't want to. All I wanted to tour, and I was mad. I was mad that I was mad at myself. I was mad at, like, Eric and Corey and everybody for quitting. I was mad at God for taking what I thought was supposed to be, like you said, this grand purpose, that, like, which, I know there's a whole lot more of that we'll probably get into in there, but, like,
Yeah.
uh but, I was mad at him for taking that away from me, and so I wanted to be a vocalist so bad still, and so I think it was a lot of, like, jumping the gun as far as, like, I really do think something would have changed eventually, and I would have ended up getting back into doing vocals for a heavy band, if I would have just waited, and sussed out what was going on in my life, um,
Right.
but I took that opportunity, and I love them. It was great, but it was not a good time for me, and I made a lot of terrible choices and hurt a lot of people, and mostly myself, but, like, hurt a lot of people in those years, and just you know youth, bad attitude, active, like,
Right.
and when I say hurt a lot of people, I mean, like, I think I just, like, misled a lot of people because I wasn't living what I claimed to be living at the time, like, my whole belief system, uh, I was upending it and trying to suss out what I actually believed in, as an adult, as and um trying to figure that out on my own, and I wasn't doing a great job of it. I was living,
Yeah.
it was a
Well,
it was
what tools did you have?
yeah, yeah,
Because again, when you think about it, like, you're still a wee lad.
yeah, right,
You just freshly 21,
yeah,
and um, man, I it's one of the things that I've learned through doing this podcast and kind of catching up and hearing different perspectives of a lot of times some of the same kind of rough patches that
yeah,
we all kind of experience. And what that is um whether you came from a Christian background or not, but you were when you were doing ministry work and touring and being like, I'm supposed to be this thing, we
yeah,
are a Christian band, there's this whole, you know image to upkeep.
yeah,
And it that you're able to upkeep that when you're a local corn-fed Ohio, like
yeah,
that you can do that easy peasy. But the second that you as a fucking 19-year-old kid,
hmm,
uh you get out to the real world and go, oh wait, no, wait, this isn't what that was like.
yeah,
What? And
right,
so then you're like actually having to grapple with real stuff that you are susceptible to because you are a
yeah,
teenage boy. Girls are pretty.
yeah,
Beer tastes good sometimes,
uh,
and weed is tight.
yeah,
Like, and you didn't have these things really readily available to you in
right,
when you're in Good Boyville in Ohio.
yeah, right,
And so going back to this idea of things going fast,
yeah,
like mind you, all this is happening within a small span of years, like 3 years.
Yeah, this was what, like 2010, 2009 to 2013.
Yeah, like in the grand scheme of things, just a couple years, but you live, you go through this real crazy, arduous, almost like bi-yearly like metamorphosis. Like you're constantly having to change and like experience and like experiencing things that low key are traumatic.
Yeah,
you know, with like being on a trajectory one day and the next day it's all gone.
Right.
And what tools do you have to reconcile with wait, no, this was not the plan.
Right.
Life is actually hard. How do I grapple?
Right.
So then you make these decisions of like, you know, bands are like bad relationships.
Yeah.
Like you just picked up a real bad chick.
Yeah.
You know, who great heart. You know, is doing great now. But the timing wasn't right. You both were in a bad place.
Right.
Shouldn't have been in the relationship with the Creations, but you know what?
It was a good time.
Yes, some good times.
Some good times still. It was some good times still.
Yeah, but
I always love her.
Yeah. So how did things end with Creations, and then how did you end up in Dive Bomb?
Yeah. So Creations, let's see. Yeah, we toured for, it was about, I think it was about a year or so, and then year and a half maybe. What is it? Oh man, I don't know, somewhere around there. Anyway, and we originally we had decided that we were going to kind of take fewer tours for a bit. We were all kind of in and out, struggling financially with different things.
Right.
Johnny was having a hard time getting over here with visa stuff. And we were also having crapshoot time with the label because we're just a write off for Media Scare.
Labels.
You know. Yeah, and so we were just like, I was like, I'm gonna move back to Mansfield and get a job that I can tour with still, and then I'll just commute from there. And then it just all just never actually ended up happening. It kind of just fizzled back out, and I started working at Relax Just Coffee in Mansfield, and the summer of 2013, and Creations just fizzled out.
Yeah.
And then I think it was 2014, I think is when our first show was. Jake and Austin and John were wanting to start a hardcore band because Jake wanted to do vocals because he'd never been a vocalist before.
And he's an incredible vocalist.
And he's an incredible vocalist.
Love that boy. Shout out Jake Henry.
Dude, I love you, Jake. Their daughter's adorable. Their new daughter.
And she's like the most perfect combination of them both.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah,
it's so awesome. I can't wait to see her when she gets older. How it's just gonna be adorable seeing like them in together and mashed up in kid form. It's gonna be awesome.
Two of the best humans ever. Hell yeah,
it really is. But yeah, so Jake wanted to be a vocalist. He had this idea for Dive Bomb for a long time, and so they were like, yeah, we need a bass player. And they're like, Tom, you want to play bass? And I was like, I don't know how to play bass. And they're like, who cares? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so
this makes 2 episodes in a row, dude.
Yeah.
Where our last episode with Nick Reed.
Oh yeah, that's right. I listened to the episode. That's right, because that's how he joined Bear.
The same canon event of,
dude, that's so sick.
Hey
I
man,
didn't even think about that.
Hey man, we need a bass player. Dude, I don't play bass, but dude, you're a great hang.
Yeah, like let's just do it.
Just hit the ones and O's, buddy. Ones and O's, baby.
That's amazing. I didn't even think about that. That's so funny. It's one of those things, right? It's one of those things where it's like, it's just so normal because you lived it. It's like, oh yeah, that is actually how it happened. That's funny.
Hey, it pays to be a nice guy,
dude. Right? Like always being down. I just had this conversation with somebody on a girl named Emily Raff, who I had on my podcast yesterday, and she was talking about like how her like new philosophy with music is always say yes, like just always say yes, and it's like always being down gets you in situations and connections musically that you would never ever expect to be in, and like, you're just always down to hang out and like try, like you're gonna do some cool stuff, you don't know.
Dude, I
where
love
it's gonna
that.
lead you, right? So but yeah, so we started Dive Bomb. They taught me how to. The only thing I know how to play on bass is just Dive Bomb songs. I don't know anything else.
You're not busting out Tool Schism.
I wish. I tried, actually. That's funny. That's actually the only song I've ever actually tried to learn on bass after
you pick up a bass.
Of course.
And you're our age.
Yeah. And you listen to new metal or anything underground adjacent, like
yeah, yep.
You gotta learn how. You gotta try to learn how to play Schism. It's the greatest. Couldn't do it, of course,
but the valiant effort was there.
I tried. And so yeah, they just taught me Dive Bomb songs, and we played our first show. I think it was like a Halloween show, I think, and I accidentally punched some dude in the face, like in like the intro to our set, and it was history, like and it was just history from there. I like
some serious lore building.
I like moving around a lot on stage. It's fun,
Yeah.
Not playing bass, just moving around.
Yeah. No. Yes, very much agreed.
Yeah, right. It's fun. It's just so much fun. Yeah, no, and and then Dive Bomb, we actually did a bunch of stuff and ended up doing some tours, and that I didn't expect.
And you guys went for quite like literally up until what, this past year?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Well, time's not real, by the way. So
no, right? Sorry,
I
just heard some really weird rumbling that was outside. It sounded like it was thunder, but that can't.
Are the trees exploding?
Yeah, right. Like that was, I think it was a car or something. That was weird. Anyway, sorry, that caught me off guard. But yeah, no, up until like 2 years ago, I think it was. We broke up.
Yeah, you played the farewell show in Mansfield.
Yeah, dude, that was sick.
Yeah,
that was such a good show. Like that's one of those weird shows that like I don't know. It was super cool because as you get older, you actually start realizing the things you should be appreciating and like not taking like or really just trying not to take things for granted. Like touring, like when I was 18 years old touring the country, how easy I took it for granted because like I was young and I didn't know better, like,
right.
And so like with the Dive Bomb's last show, I made sure that like to stop before our set started while everybody was like chanting Dive Bomb while we were getting ready, and just like close my eyes and like just remember that moment,
I love that for you, dude. Yeah, hell yeah.
It was super cool. It was super cool. I really love Dive Bomb.
That's an all-timer. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like I really enjoyed that band for a lot of reasons, and like that band means a lot to me and has a really special place in my heart. And so like that last show was just so sick. It was so much fun.
So sweaty.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There was dude, that room gets stupid hot when there's a lot of people in there.
Dude, every time. But like I've always said this millions and millions of times over the years. Playing shows in Mansfield feels like a second home to me.
Yeah,
because it feels like an actual community.
Yeah.
And every time I've played there, every time I've just even hung out there and seen the old squad, like it's like, oh no, yeah, this is where it's like, okay, yes, this is what it's supposed to be. As sweaty as it was, you're with family. When you're here, you're sweaty, but you're with family.
Your family, yeah, right. Yeah. Dude, yeah, Mansfield rules. I love the city. I really, really do love the city. It's a really cool place to be.
It's on the come up. Been on the come up.
Yeah, we're trying, man. We're trying. Dude, we're trying. There's a lot of good music that is in Mansfield that I hope people find out more about.
Speaking of which, that leads me to segue.
Dude, that was good, Ian. You're getting good at this, man.
We're casting, buddy.
Yeah,
we're casting. Yeah. We have a new band.
Yeah.
They just released a song called Afterglow yesterday. Is it all on streaming platforms?
It is. All streaming. It's everywhere, baby.
Yeah, everyone knows the protocol.
It's all the things everywhere. All the things.
And this band is called When.
Correct.
Spelled how?
Oiun. I have this thing about weird band names, man. I love shooting myself in the foot,
No, but you were telling me before we started going live, how you came up with this new phonetic spelling of when.
Yeah, which coincidentally apparently is a last name in like North Korea or South Korea or something like that. It had no idea. There's actually an artist that has music out. I don't know how to pronounce their first two names, but their last name is Oiun, and I don't know how they pronounce it, but it looked like it said "when" to us when I typed it in the Discord and was like, "Hey, what about this?" to the rest of the band, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I like that." And then I was like, "How do you pronounce it?" And two of the four members said "when," and so we're like, "Okay, well that's
good enough."
Yeah, right. Good enough. That's how these things
work.
We did it. We did it.
But
guys.
but you guys have been a band for a minute, but you've been really calculated and really focusing on writing.
Yes.
And
that's putting it in a really awesomely positive light, and I appreciate it. That's definitely what we're doing. Definitely what we did. Definitely all honesty, it was what I really wanted to do from the get-go. But the rest of them, everybody except for me has kids, and so life is life, as you know.
I got a 13-year-old right in the other room.
Dude, that's crazy. That's just crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. Sorry, my wife is getting a phone call. I'm using her laptop right now, and so
oh no,
phone call. So the screen just disappeared. But yeah. So we unfortunately roundabout way took a while to actually put out a first song, which in hindsight I think is going to work for us. In the long run.
Yes, and let me give a glowing endorsement, an afterglow endorsement. Hey. So I on a solo stream I did a while ago, I kind of showed my ass a little bit and kind of admitted I'm really bad when it comes to listening to new heavy music.
Yeah, no,
because I'm like that. My autism is really hyper fixated into very specific bands.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for me to be like, I'm going to go explore.
Yeah.
And
there's so much work you have to do to get to know them before you actually listen to their music. Like,
right. Like I need so much more. But one of the things that I've always had a complicated relationship, because I in the past couple of years, I've really tried to like break myself of that habit. And one of the things that I became increasingly frustrated with is like bands like Sleep Token, where they're attempting to have all these different influences like prog metal, jazz, hip hop, funk, horny British guy on vocals. Like it's just an amalgamation of all these things, which in theory can be cool, but it's such a like it's you have to really know the formula of being able to marry so many things, which is possible. But I've been kind of an old curmudgeon with a lot of the bands that try to do that. But then I when I listened to the song yesterday on my way home from work, I was so proud like of you guys. I'm like,
Thanks,
damn,
man.
this is not only rips, but it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And it's like, and that it's Zach singing, right?
Yeah,
he's doing the clean vocals. That boy, I know that boy had a voice on him, but golly,
it's killer, right?
Yeah, he got that soul in him. But but you guys did the things that I was so frustrated with bands like Sleep Token, where I'm like, no, be heavy, be heavy, and you guys, when you guys are heavy, you are really good and really heavy. When you guys are really doing some math, you know, you guys are really doing it in a way that doesn't take away from the song, and then the lush pretty parts are really pronounced and very much, and it flows so well. So please,
thank you,
please stream this.
Thank you.
Your vocals are,
thank you,
way more even evolved to like the last time I heard you on record doing vocals.
Thank you. My balls are finally dropping.
Well, it's more of like range. Like you have such a like, because and I think this is sort of like a similar trajectory, and it's always interesting where it always pans out, because when you're a scene kid in high school in the 2000s, you're learning how to scream. Like your influences are very of the time. So like when you're in high school in our time, what's cool is lows and highs. Just lows and highs. You know, I'm gonna have yeah. You know, you want to be, I want to showcase that. But then in like the 2010s, we wanted to be a little bit more mid-range.
Right.
Be a little bit more like throaty, hardcore. Like shouty. But then I've noticed that like or dudes or ladies who have stuck with it into like their 30s and on, they finally find their voice. Like they finally have chiseled enough rock in their throats, you know, and their diaphragms, where like it creates this like very almost like original sound.
Interesting.
And and it's maturity, I think, is another a good component of it. But you sound great.
Thank you.
When spelled Oiun.
Correct.
And so you don't have to have the 15-minute meltdown that I had. Trying to autistically figure this out. Yeah,
we really shot ourselves in the foot with it, but
not in today's day and age, buddy.
That's what some people keep saying. I like, like there's you're right, but it's like, when you like, I don't know, you go hiking or something like that, you start going up a mountain or something, you go hiking and you get in like 15-20 minutes into it, and you realize how far you actually have to go.
Like, fucking now I'm committed.
Right. And now it's like,
man,
I had a thought before the song even released that like, maybe we just change it. I'll pull it down and I'll schedule it like the song come out another day, but
DistroKid will be cool, right?
Yeah, right.
But plus I needed to show you this comment.
Yeah.
All right, my friend Tyler, brother, stop hyping it up. You already struck oil with the weird name.
Right.
Yes,
you're right. You're right.
Hey,
thank you, Tom.
we got you another fan already.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. That rules.
but like, damn, dude. So that's where we're at in current day. So,
Mhm.
I I'm so I'm so overwhelmed and happy. Um, like I've learned so much of Tom lore that
Yeah.
I never knew,
Right.
and since I've known you as Tom the Bomb on MySpace.
Yeah.
But so the final half of
Yeah.
what I do on this podcast is the questionnaire.
Mm.
And obviously I'm a broken record. Sorry about it.
No.
If you're not comfortable, this is to your comfort degree.
Yeah.
So if there's things that you're kind of like, I'm not won't say this part, you don't gotta say it. But you are also and on the flip, open door to be as honest as possible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I really the first half is always the historical retrospective
Yeah.
and kind of all the stories therein, and then the final half is the kind of internal stuff
Yeah.
and the retrospect, like our internal introspection sort of part.
Mhm.
And so I start with the negative first.
Mhm.
Um, of all your experiences in the Christian metal core scene,
Yeah.
what was it pops in your head as the worst time during that era
Yeah.
for you?
Um, for me in that era, I've been trying to think about this, knowing that I was coming on here, and it, like, I mean, there always like, honestly, a lot of the times, like, money was always like just sucked because having
Yes.
money to do anything like that just sucks.
Money sucks.
Yeah, it really does. I really hate it. Uh, but man, honestly, I think I I know I kind of already harped on it a little bit, but I really think like what sucked the most about back then was like my attitude towards a lot of things. And my selfishness, and it's like like when you know you had something that was actually really special and you appreciate it, and you just didn't take care of it very well, and it could have been so much more if you would have just taken care of it and partook in it in a
Right.
way that was, helped ease the burden off of Eric for all the work that he was putting into it. um that would have, like, there's so much stuff that like Eric was doing that I didn't even realize I could have, like, as and absurd as it sounds, audacious maybe, I don't know, but like I didn't even realize that I could have done things that would have helped make his life easier and the band better. I didn't know what to do. Like, I just didn't know.
Right.
Um and so like, yeah, I think I really do, like, I think a lot of the worst parts of it really was because of the attitude that I had. And because like yeah, there's a lot of hard, weird aspects of like ministering to random people on tour, and like,
Oh yeah.
like getting up every night and and it was never anything like, see, like, I'm a very zealous person naturally. Like, I'm very, very, like, have a passionate dispensation, and
Disposition.
disposition, thank you. uh and like, so like getting up on stage, like, no, it was never like the band was always like for like ministry person, like to glorify
Right.
God, always was like, that was always the main goal that we had talked about. So, but there was never any like pressure for me to get up on stage and like essentially preach a sermon every night, like, but it was just something that like I thought I I wanted to do and had to do at the same time to like because that's like what I had to do.
It became clocking in.
Yeah, it really did, and
Yeah.
because of like I was saying at the beginning of not understanding the actual work it takes to deal with like stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, and like how to actually heal from things properly, how to face things head on and actually heal and deal with them, and like I didn't understand any of that, so it was like, it was like I was just as a human being, just like in a like if I was it was like I was just in a room allowing it to clutter up and just hoarding all these things and not actually like piecing them out and sorting them, and cleaning house ever, and all the while doing that, um I was also trying to be something that I thought I had to be to evangelize and get people to believe that Jesus Christ died for them, Um, so a lot of it was like this pressure
And
that
that's
I
so
put
much
on myself,
pressure, dude.
right? And like, yeah, and like all the while was just like, maybe that's not really actually what God wanted. He just wanted me to like sing the songs that he puts on my heart and like love him and enjoy playing music, and not have to
Right.
like I don't know. I have a very different view of like evangelizing and ministry nowadays, now than I did when I was younger, and I don't see things the way that I see them as I do now. So like a lot of that was like a lot of pressure that I put on myself that I know was unnecessary and caused me to crack and to look like a hypocrite to a lot of people in a lot of ways and hurt a lot of people, and I
Right.
regret that a lot. And so I think a lot of the worst crap for that whole time is just like what I did to myself and not realizing that I needed to reach out and talk to friends and family more and like have a be more open and honest personally instead of just on a stage in front of a bunch of strangers, uh, and I think if I would have done that, it would have done me a lot of good, and I would have had a much different experience. But yeah, so that I think is probably the
No, no, that dude, that really hit me pretty damn hard because
yeah,
like it's it's so easy when you were a part of this world. I was just talking about this because Settle the Sky has actually been doing some writing again lately.
yes, good.
And
I
we've
wanted
been
to ask you about that.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we're
Yeah,
we're cooking. And
that's
we're just go to Dan's house every Sunday.
yeah,
Um
that's awesome.
Not tomorrow because it's rough outside,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, right.
we get together every Sunday
That's so
and
cool.
we just write at Dan's house.
Yeah,
And one of the conversations that we had, um, Dan and I did, was really talking about kind of those similar problems where
yeah,
like, especially the parts where how kind of insane it was, where this everything's going so fast, everything's going so crazy. But then there's also this like really weird expectation that you almost just like force yourself to have in almost like this people pleasing way
yeah, yeah, yeah,
of like I have a job,
yeah,
but then you begin to resent the job,
yeah. Yep, yep.
and those feelings unfortunately are now in inner turmoil with your belief structures.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and oh yeah, by the way, you're 20.
yeah. Right,
Like
right,
and just how
right.
and no, so that
Yeah,
and when you go through that, where I wanted to get with that, and something where Dan and I sort of met at, is it's very easy to feel alone sometimes
yeah, yeah,
with those grapples. You're like, because obviously we only know our own experiences for real,
yeah,
and uh you'll see how other people are seemingly well maintaining their confidence in what they believe in and who they are and what
right.
pieces of themselves that they project out there.
Yeah,
Um, And so you feel like, am I losing it? Am I just like falling apart here? But the reality is, no, we all, us who lived this world in that time, we all kind of had our own versions of that real kind of thing though. So no, that answer really, that hit me hard, brother. Because it brings, because it also invokes so many memories. So because you're literally making stories every single day. Especially when you're on tour, it's like a whole different movie every day.
Mm-hmm.
And like remembering those feelings and clocking in shifts of like, all right, no, okay, let's all pretend that we're praying around the drums.
Right.
When it used to start with very passionate prayers the first couple years, and then the last year of being a band, it was just like, all right, guys, on the count of 4.
Let's go play. All right, let's go yell into these mics. All right.
Yeah. All right. Like, and then when you grapple with the humanity and the morality of it, man, that fucking, oh man. No, that was very, very honest, and I appreciate that answer. And then, but we're not in the business of vibe killing. So question number 2, let's bring this shit up. Let's get it the fuck up. Question number 2 is what's your happiest, or like what's your best memory that just pops in your head?
Like, I mean, the thing that just like popped into my head right there is not really a specific memory, but just like how much fun it was just to be in a van with people that are still some of my closest friends today, you know?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Like, I don't talk to them enough. I don't see them enough, unfortunately. But like, it's still like, I mean, they're people I'll know for the rest of my life that I'm will be friends with for the rest of my life,
Yeah,
even if
and
we're
every
not
time you
as
see each
close.
other,
But
it's
like,
instantly this.
yeah, like they're people I know. I mean, my apartment right now, I rent it from Eric and Alyssa. You know, like they're like just
It's a small world.
yeah, right. Like it's just like people that like I love so much, and I got to hang out with every single day. And even when I got tired of them, it's still like it was still awesome to play shows with them and be in a band with them, and then it just cycled right back to loving them again. You know, like even at the worst. So I mean, like that's what like initially jumped into my head is as like just the just the sheer gravity of the idea of like what we did. And like I got to travel the country for free and like see awesome places that I'll probably never didn't see again, maybe didn't know existed. Like do some crazy stuff of even though like even still like the worst stuff of like vans breaking down and stuff, which was horrible. It was still
It
like
happened
looking
all the
back on it
time.
happened all the time. Looking back on it was still just like this crazy adventure of like, you know, I mean, I remember we a van broke down once and we were in New York, and we have a close friend of multiple members of the band. She lives in Manhattan, and or somewhere, not I don't know, somewhere over in the actual city. And so like we left our van at this mechanic while they were trying to fix it, and took the Staten Island ferry over to the city and crashed in her tiny freaking apartment for like 2 days while somebody else from Mansfield drove our other van, that because we had just bought a new van, and so
Good
we still had
God.
our old van, while somebody else drove our old van to New York so that we can meet them in a freaking parking lot and hitch our trailer on and go back to touring, you know, like
the things we do.
Yeah, and it's like that was, I remember that being really stressful at the time, but looking back on it now, it's just like, dude, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy that that happened, and that's so awesome that I got to be a part of it. Like, it's just so awesome that I got to travel in a van and play music every night and like meet new people and like love people and like just play music that I love, like,
Yeah. Like those were your babies. You got
yeah,
to share
dude.
song, art and sounds and words that you created or were a part
Yeah,
of creating, and so you have an investment in it. So
yeah,
that in itself is a gift, and
yeah,
I love that you said that, because still creating music nowadays, it's hard to get motivated.
yeah, right.
So it's nice to be reminded that it is a gift to create. It is a
Yeah,
gift to make art.
yeah,
And I always whenever I'm telling old war stories, old tour stories, uh I always go back to a moment where uh we were in Sarasota, Florida,
okay.
and our van was getting uh worked on, and we were chilling at our manager's house,
Hmm.
and everybody was asleep. I was hungry. I didn't have any money. And you're like, oh, this kind of sucks. And but then I'm like, I'm awake because I was band dad.
Yeah.
Always been band dad. I was so I decided to just go for a walk around this cul-de-sac, and I then there's like this little reflective pond in this nice little neighborhood, and I sat under a palm tree,
Mm,
and I realized as I looked at my phone, I was getting texted because it was February,
okay.
and where we were where we're from up in Ohio, uh, they were experiencing like a crazy blizzard, and I'm sitting barefoot in
Under a palm
fucking
tree,
Florida under a palm tree, and I'm going to play a show that night.
right?
Like,
So sick.
dude,
So sick,
like, and
right?
I know you have hundreds of those experiences,
Yeah,
like when you're just like you have to pause and go, this is crazy, right?
yeah.
This
Well,
is pretty cool.
it's even crazier too, because like now there's like video of it sometimes as well, right? Now, like
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah.
event, it's like, I don't know. It's still to this day, like I think about the fact that like I wrote most of those songs in my bedroom in high school, or around then or right after high school. And there's videos of people singing along audibly to lyrics that I wrote in my bedroom, that like it meant so much to them that they would want to get excited and yell those words out at the same time I was, while I was on stage and they were watching in a room full of people. And like the fact that like anybody cared enough to like memorize words that I wrote in my bedroom is insane to me. Like,
Hey, what a just in concept,
yeah,
that energy exchange of I this was such a personal thing I put on a piece of paper, and now other people resonate with it, and now we're doing this almost like tribal,
yeah,
like like a seance, sort of like we're trying to manifest something, and we're yelling these words I wrote on paper at each other's faces.
right.
What is happening?
Dude, it's the coolest thing in the world to me. Like, it's the most humbling, magnificent feeling. Like, I'll just watch most of them. Like the best ones are like old Cornerstone videos. There's a couple
Yeah.
of the gun show ones where they're like, because those are like where we had like consistently the best crowds in like 2010, 2011, after like
Yeah, dude, for sure.
started gaining some traction, and just Cornerstone was just the best. And like there's like some videos where there's like a decent crowd, substantial amount of people, at least for us at the time, and like you can hear people yelling along and singing along to parts, like, and it's dude, it's like I'm
Humble you out a little
so,
bit.
so thankful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so, so thankful for what I got to do with that band, and the time that I had. Just so cool. So I don't know, like, I know it's kind of a little bit of a cop out answer, but
No.
like that for me, I think is possibly the greatest thing that came from all of that, is just being able to connect with people on like obviously also like a spiritual level. I love God, and I still believe that Jesus is who he says he is. So like getting to like experience that with people now that I'm not like, it took me a while to like even like getting on and doing this podcast. So I was a little apprehensive about, because like uh I'm like not that person anymore, who I used to be, and
Right.
like
And if I'm being transparent,
yeah,
I had no idea what your even belief system was anymore.
yeah, right. And so like talking about that stuff, there was a long time where I was just like, it I didn't want anything to
Hey,
do with it,
keep work at work, you know?
Yeah, right. But like, so like being able to like share that with so many people that like I didn't know that I was connected together through like words and music was, yeah, I think probably the best thing about all of that.
No, man. And that almost kind of naturally hits into our the final and third question. Is this, it's more of just for an open discussion or an open thread for yourself of the hindsight.
Yeah,
Where you're feeling about it now, and it sounds like you're in a pretty damn good place about it, where you're like,
yeah,
man, like that's that's a testament to, I think, your character and kind of who I've known you to be,
mm,
of just consistently thinking, consistently moving forward, and
mm,
and consistently wanting to create and put stuff down on paper.
yeah,
And
mm,
that there's a resilience to it. And in hindsight, it feels that like you're seeing that all of it is a gift
yeah,
almost.
it definitely, yeah, yeah,
And dude, that makes,
definitely.
this is the feel good story that we've
Yeah.
needed in these trying times.
Yes,
Uh,
I'm glad I could help.
yeah, dude. But that's for
Yeah,
real.
no, no, I was like, it took, I I was kind of like crippled by shame for a long time over just like, and naturally I'm just a very hard on myself type of person. And so like I just wouldn't allow myself to like to really forgive myself for some stuff that I did back then. And it's nothing that like it's like I didn't kill anybody or anything like that.
Right.
But like just like I
Guilt is
because
guilt
I
regardless.
yeah, right. The but I really took seriously what I believed our purpose was. And when I made like when I there the times where I made myself out to look like I was a massive hypocrite at times, or like any like stuff like that. I really like was ramshackled with shame for a long time, to the point where like I didn't really want to even talk about this publicly with anybody, or any be on podcasts, or like talk about the band. I didn't want, like, because I was just like I just was just like all people are
Man.
gonna think about is like the type of person that you pretended to be. And so, but like, as you get older, it's like like you're a kid, so like stop being a kid and like grow up and
Right.
look at the things that like you make mistakes and you move on. And if somebody's hurt enough about it, they need to talk to you about it, and like let's figure it out, and let's apologize, and let's move on. And so that's like what I kind of had to tell myself, it's like you gotta like move on and like not live in the past. Like it doesn't matter. Because it was a gift. Like all of it. I know that there's a lot of people that like I've met or that I know that I've talked to that like talk about the whole Christian metalcore scene as like this like blight of existence, and like that it was all just like terrible stuff, and like it did like terrible things for people and hurt a lot of people. But like it sucks that people think that, because I truly think it was just like it was a weird time frame that is just this gift of like insight,
Yeah.
humanity, and like
And
and music,
that's a really big motivator of why I'm doing this
Yeah,
particular podcast is
yeah,
it's a full spectrum thing.
yeah,
I want to show the humanity of this time.
yeah,
Because I think there's, as you said, there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of like, and this was, the Christian sect
yeah.
of metalcore is, as you said, a blight on the face of heavy music, and it's
Right,
which is such a disservice of not only just some absolutely ripping bands,
right, right.
like there was a time where you put on Zayo and you're
Yeah,
like, this is like not only like the best heavy music, but
yeah,
also I'm connected. I'm feeling something
hmm,
deeper. Like it felt like a
right,
deeper pulling with it. Like it
right,
felt like almost there was a lot of parts of seeing a lot of these bands live where it felt more emotional because they were like being vulnerable about their spirituality.
hmm, yeah,
And so it became like this almost more like emotional experience.
yeah,
And and then not only the great art, but there were genuinely great people.
yeah,
And like there's genuinely really insane and like moving experiences. But then also on the flip, I will also be transparent of it all wasn't sunshine and fucking roses.
right,
No, there was also a lot of hypocrisy,
yeah,
a lot of
yep,
greed,
yep,
and one of the things that like I w- I was contemplating doing a solo stream last week, but I didn't do it. But
uh,
one of the things I was mulling over in anticipation of a solo stream was a conversation I had recently at work
mm,
of uh just just because I was kind of like revisiting some of the negative hypocrisy aspects of stuff and kind of
yeah,
the ugly parts of that spirituality, and kind of how you know I don't want to add to the already not so great PR
uh-huh,
that is on Christian metalcore.
uh-huh,
But one of the things I want to emphasize is the thing that pushed me away from any kind of religion or any kind of semblance of spirituality was the lack of humanity.
mm,
And so with this podcast, I really want to um not shy away from the not so sick parts.
yeah,
And there was genuinely not, there's some dark
yeah,
and there's some really shitty people out there,
mhm,
but that's being shitty is, I think, a human condition.
mm,
And
yeah,
I also want to bring light of a lot of what you spoke about and a lot of your stories and your retrospectives,
yeah,
which is no, this is actually really cool.
yeah,
And you're experiencing sometimes almost these like superhuman or like not superhuman, but like um very almost alien experiences of
yeah,
borderline miracle work of just
yeah,
like having moving conversations or prayers or like situations where you almost died, like God knows how many times Settle the Sky got in a fucking van accident on an icy road
right,
and
yeah,
and somehow still survived.
uh-huh, right,
uh,
yeah,
one of the famous harrowing tales was when we were driving home after our tour with Vanna. Our last show was like in like Connecticut, and it was dead of winter, and we were driving home. And we had that turtle top van, and I was sleeping in the little basket nook. And at some point, we hit a patch of black ice, and everybody woke up screaming because we're spinning. And I'm literally hanging on to like the coat rack thing that was above my cubby, swinging like this. And JD reminds me of this quote every once in a while, where he just heard me scream, "I'm not going to die tonight." I'm not going to die tonight. Out of a dead sleep, just screaming that. And coincidentally, we didn't die. Didn't. And so, dude, the scene, and the music, and the people, it's all real, the good and the bad. And man, I really, really appreciate just your honesty, and especially since you said that like there was such a long period in your life where you're like not wanting to even talk about these stories or even talk about that time. And I even not to throw anybody under the bus, but I think your friends were just, I think, protecting you at the time, because I remember like maybe this is like maybe early dive bomb era or maybe a little before that, and like people are like, no, just an FYI, Tom isn't really like wanting to talk about that stuff right now. Like just because like, they were looking out for you, and like, and that makes sense, because now that I have the context of what was going on, I'm like, oh no, that makes sense. I understand completely why you were like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
That being said, thanks, dude. Like so much for doing this. And let's I'm just kind of go through the, I would get in trouble. If I did not bust this out. Nice Bengals hat. That was my girlfriend. She got me this for my Christmas present.
It's a nice Bengals hat. I agree.
Dude, it's like almost like a corduroy like texture too.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it drip. It got some drip. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Is there anything that on top of Wen's new single Afterglow, is there anything else you're wanting to plug? Like, well, what's the podcast? Give your shout outs, man.
The Open Mic Podcast. And it streams everywhere that podcasts stream, I think. I don't do mostly, I don't really do visuals. It's just audio pretty much, partly because I'm lazy, and other partly because I think radio is cool, and so I think about radio when I'm doing it more. But yeah, so don't look for visuals. You're not going to find them. If you want to listen to episodes, I do pretty much everything about local Mansfield acts and local Mansfield stuff. It's just I love Mansfield, and I want to highlight the music scene more, and like people locally listen to it, and it's cool.
There's so many good bands, so much great music coming out.
A lot of good music in Mansfield. There really is, like, a lot.
Genuinely.
Like,
we lying,
dude. Seriously, Narrow Arrow, the Afronauts, Middling, freaking Aim Point. Like, there's a lot of good bands in Mansfield, and then like the rappers too. If you like rap, I do a segment called Rest and Beats, where I get DJ Dro.
I've seen those Instagram clips. Yes. Yeah.
He comes in and he live spins songs. We hang out, and I invite whoever rapper wants to come out, and they just get in. We kick it, and they freestyle, and then we talk about music. It's a lot of fun.
Dude, that rules so hard.
It's a lot of fun, man. Me and Dro are talking about putting out an album, like a Rest and Beats album. So we're gonna get, like, we have a format that we're working on right now. So hopefully that'll come out. If you're into hip hop, there, honestly, like, I'm not like, I love rap music a lot.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm not super keen on a lot of newer stuff. But a lot of the local rappers that come out newer, whether they're in the newer genre of rap or not, like there's a lot of really good rappers that come out. I'm genuinely impressed how good they are at freestyling. A lot of them that come out, like it's cool. So yeah, if you're into that type of thing, check it out. I'd appreciate it. They would appreciate it, especially Mansfield. Like they would appreciate it. Yeah, my Instagram's the open mic PD cast, all one word. And then yeah, when is just I'm just like I was telling you before, like I decided to like a month or so ago, my wife and I like that if I'm gonna do anything with if I'm gonna keep doing any of this stuff, like it needs like I need to actually try with it because like we don't really have that much time. So like if I'm gonna do something, let's do something with it, you know. So we're gonna actually try and do something with it and because it's fun. And so yeah, when is Oiunoh? That's the Instagram. When Ohio. Yeah, we're gonna record another single hopefully here soon. We're gonna put the book some time, and I'm gonna be just pumping out the content. I'm gonna just try and spam the freaking crap out of it. We have a music video that we made that we're finishing editing. But it's gonna be super confusing because I edited my own versions as well. So that we have like 3 or 4 different versions of our music video that Zach, our guitarist, and Adam have worked on, and then I've worked on my own separate ones. So yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna pump out with that single. So
Dude, I'm so stoked.
we want to play shows. I'm terrible at booking. So if anybody, those people that want to play shows and booking places,
Hook them up.
play. Yeah, please hit us up. We need to come and play with Settle the Sky. Like that would be dope. Please.
Yeah, when we do our once every 2 years live show
Yes.
reunion, but we are because we are writing new material. We are going to be trying to play at least a show at some point this year.
Good.
So,
dope.
dude,
also,
please, yes, go ahead.
Has anybody? I feel like we've talked about this. How much you sound like the dude who plays Andy from The Office.
Chris Pratt.
Is that who that is?
No, Andy in The Office.
Andy from The Office.
Andy, no, I was thinking of Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Oh no, not Parks and Rec. No. Andy from The Office. Has anybody told you how much you sound like him?
No.
No, really?
Yeah,
dude. So I don't listen to things at work because I'm not allowed to listen to things at work. But as I'm listening to things at work, have an earbud in, and I'm not watching anything. Right, my phone's in away.
Right.
And listening to the podcast, it struck me that you sound exactly like the dude that plays Andy from The Office.
Oh, God.
If you close your eyes and listen to you talk, you guys like it sounds like I can picture his face while you're doing the podcast.
All right, hold on. I got to pull this up now.
It's amazing.
All right.
It partly could also be because it's over like the live stream, and that's how you upload it to YouTube as well. So that's like the audio that I'm hearing. But dude, you guys sound so similar
from The Office. Okay, let's. Because I mean, I'll be honest here. Oh my God!
If anybody's in the chat, please let me please confirm if you hear it too.
You know what?
Maybe I'm just losing my mind. I don't know, but that's it. Dude,
no, I hear it,
dude.
Ed Helms.
It's amazing.
Or his name is
yes,
Ed Helms.
Yes,
yeah,
dude. It's amazing. It's like it's so sick because I'm just cruising around listening to the podcast, imagining Ed Helms is actually like interviewing, and it's
talking about Christian metalcore that he was
talking about Christian metalcore. Yeah, right.
All right, hold on, we got a comment here. Was waiting for the "you sound like Claudio" comments. like Claudio Sanchez, Coheed and Cambria.
Okay, interesting.
Well,
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have kind of similar speaking voice tones. But when I was first trying to sing, wasn't very good. Still ain't very great, but
you sound good. I don't know what you're talking about. I like
thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the whole, and this is obviously like late 2000s when I'm having the confidence to start singing. And everyone's just singing as high as they possibly can. So there was an era where like my pitch was significantly always on the higher end, and people did be like, "Are you trying to be like Claudio Sanchez with your giant long hair and your high voice?"
Yes,
and your weird tan in the summer that makes you questionably what race you are.
That would actually.
Hold it right here.
Alpha.
Them rec center shows. Oh man, did we ever have the gun show up? I think this is before rec center time, or
I think
I
don't think we did.
No, you guys probably played only the Pontifex.
Yeah,
coming to Fremont. No, before the Pontifex era, there was a era of renting out not only VFW halls, but they would rent out literally a big portion of the Fremont Rec Center and would put full local shows there.
That's so awesome,
dude.
That's so awesome. So uncomfortable and so awesome at the same time. Those shows are always like the most awkward, but also the most epic. Sometimes, like
there are so many stories.
Yeah, I've seen insane fights at VFW halls that you would never imagine could it would be possible. Like we were in New Jersey one time, and we were playing this VFW hall. It was this like all day fest, and like later in the night, somehow, some way, of course, in New Jersey, somebody got too frisky and got into a massive fight, and there was like 10 plus cop cars that showed up, like insane amounts of it was like almost riot level fight inside of this tiny VFW hall. And dude, VFW halls
watching a Christian metalcore band.
Right? I don't think we were probably one of the only ones on that show though, because that was so I think that was like, dude, I want to say like somebody like Float Face Down was playing or something like that, maybe. I don't know, but
damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, dude, Rec Center, that rules.
While we're in the business of plugging before we get out of here.
Oh yeah. Plug and plug.
If anyone would like to kindly donate some finances to help keep the lights on at StreamYard at $44 a month. And also just I'm trying to get better equipment and grow and really get a new PC and kind of make a little home podcast studio. I want to do more creative stuff. I want to record more music. So I'd like to donate.
Yeah.
Cash App, $, Holy Coast, PayPal at Holy Coast, which I also is my main music that I do now. A band called Holy Coast. We have an album. Please listen to it. I think it's pretty cool.
Yes.
If you like loud guitars. And the kind of final note here, going back to those Rec Center shows, so many cool bands came through there. Probably the most memorable times of my teens. And I'm pretty sure that's my dude Brian. Shout out Brian.
Hi Brian.
My boy. Which I think happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Brian.
Hey, buddy.
Good job. Way to
but
this
but he's right. They're like in hindsight, so many. Oh, it's gonna be his birthday in an hour. Hell yeah!
Sick.
My Capricorn signs was fucking tingling in my head, dude.
Nice. Happy birthday,
I just knew
Brian.
it.
Good
Hell
job,
yeah!
man.
But he's gonna be 37 too. So I just turned 37 on Saturday. This past Saturday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Getting old rocks, but
right.
But going back to Brian's point, like I'm just like so many bands from like Victory Records would like play these rec center shows, and like you get like
so
awesome. Yeah, like in like consistently playing with like bands like Red Eye Flight and shit like that. But then also like there were these mixed genre shows, so you would get like these big like emo bands like June or Cartel or Cute Is What We Aim For. Like
yes.
Yeah, and so like what a weird time the 2000s was, period. And kind of the final note I want to leave this episode on is two things. One, again, thank you, Tom.
Yeah,
you're the man.
you.
I've loved I love catching up with you. I love all the stories. And then two, let us all remember that true happiness left us all when Pure Volume left the airwaves, because so many awesome local bands were on there, and that and I found people's Pure Volumes from these rec center shows.
Dude, I forgot about Pure Volume.
I know. There's so much great music. I was doing chores earlier, and I was ripping this boy a little too hard, and I was doing some thinking, and I was like thinking about how much. God, this is sound like a crazy fucking stoner thought, but but I was just thinking about, because I'm already writing new music. You know, there's like a dozen new Holy Coast songs already, like just ideas, and then like Settle the Skies writing songs, and then I started thinking about like, man, how many songs have I written and released in the past 10 years? And it's over 60.
Dang.
And it's like, and I'm like, but then I think I'm just one person, and that's kind of like a pretty slow pace compared to a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
And then it made me think, there's so much music,
dude.
Period.
Crazy.
And then I was like going on these online wormholes of like, oh man, what happened to this band? Oh, what are they doing here? And then I realized, oh no, since MySpace and Pure Volume have been gone, there are entire discographies of incredible local bands that never quite hit where they needed to go, but were in just great bands.
Yeah.
Their songs are nowhere. They will never be heard again.
No. No.
And I got like sad.
Yeah, right. No, dude, there's a local Mansfield band that like is one of my favorite bands of all time that nobody I know can find their record anymore. Like, it's not streaming anywhere. Like, this was before streaming. They're called the Lexington Chapter. They're like this like folk, like weird folky type band. Actually, I found a CD or a DVD actually with just their set, that this random set that they played that somebody randomly filmed on a DVD, and I uploaded it to my YouTube channel. So I'll have to send you it so you can hear them. But they're like this really weird, obscure folk type music. I don't even know what else you would call
it. That's right up my alley, brother. That's right up my alley.
So good. They're so good. And like nobody I know has their album. They put out a full-length album. Like nobody I know has it. And it's like that same type of thought, and like just bummer that there's so many albums that are just gone because they never put it on, because streaming wasn't a thing yet. And
yeah, right. And man, it's like it was such a weird, awkward jump.
Yeah.
Like there was such a delay between the two closing down, man.
Right.
So moving forward, I'm going to be now a vocal advocate of we got to find the files, man.
Yeah, right. No, seriously,
we gotta
I've messaged so many people. Like, yeah, it's you just kind of got to do it at some point in time because nobody else is gonna do it. Like,
yeah, no, we're gonna
be the change you want to see in the world, Ian.
Yeah, I'm gonna hunt down Mr. Pure Volume. I'm gonna be like, listen here, dude.
Turn your servers back on.
Turn them back on just for a little bit so we can.
We need to archive.
Like there's even like stuff from like my old bands that like high school bands that had like actually kind of like in hindsight were cool songs, and I was like, oh man, I would or like bands that we play, like I would find like old mix CDs of like demos of local bands around here, and you listen to them, you're like, man, this is actually really fucking good.
Right.
And only I have it,
right?
Because like who has this, and
right.
I don't know, I'm gonna be a massive advocate for like any former band person who still has their old demos. Please upload them, share them,
at least put it on Bandcamp, like something
let's turn Bandcamp into Pure Volume. Please.
Exactly. Like that's essentially what it is, but better. So like yeah
hell yeah. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end it. We are almost 2 hours.
Beautiful.
Again,
it's
dude,
like a
thank you.
5-minute conversation. It's 2 hours later.
Hanging out with your boy during Snowmageddon.
This was awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. Well, that being said, thanks for everyone hanging out in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I got a really, really special guest coming up in the next coming weeks. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I'll be making some announcements this coming week. Please support Tom and everything that he is doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oiun on Instagram, on the socials. Afterglow's the new single. Yeah. Thanks y'all, and we'll see you next time.